Tuesday, September 23rd, the year 2014. See what's happening in the news today. Klinghoffer. Who's Klinghoffer? Page 2. Who's Klinghoffer? You're looking in the Metro. It's in the AM.
You said Metro.
Did I?
No. You said AM.
All right. AM. No, he's not. I don't think he's the guy in Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah.
Right here. Okay. Now, I could show you on the internet. Let's see if there's any video. Let me just tell you what happened. Here he is. The death of Klinghoffer. Oh, I guess there's a guitarist called Klinghoffer too. With the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Oh yeah. Anyway, they should hire him to do the story, the background music. Klinghoffer was, there was a Italian luxury liner. I guess they call it I forgot what they call them. It's a luxury liner, a boat out in the ocean, and there's a group of Palestinians, I guess you could call them terrorists, but I don't know what they were, a group of, just call them terrorists, I guess. They boarded the boat and they held everybody hostage, okay? This is a long time ago. This is like in the 80s something, 85. And there was one guy who gave him a lot of trouble. He was this guy here, this Jewish guy from New York City. And, they would, like, for example, they would say, okay, we want all you guys to go into the back cabin. And go, back cabin, nothing. You'll go into the back cabin. That's the back cabin for you. I'll have your back cabin right here. And, everything. They would give him some, you brought me some blue-green algae? He'd go, hey, your blue-green algae. I have your blue-green algae right here. Anyway, so he didn't obey them. He spit on them. So, and their demands. For some reason, it seemed like the army didn't get there quickly. So there was a period of time where they had control of the hostages. And this guy was giving him trouble. So you know what they did? It's not like a movie. They don't just put up with him until, for, days on end. Or put him in some kind of a secret thing that he could escape from. They just shot him in the head and dumped him overboard.
You're listening to the UnCommonCore Podcast with your host Thomas Howell.
Finally, 2016 is over. That was a rough one. Looking forward to 2017, I figure the best thing to do is to purge the past and start out fresh. So in that vein, this episode is a montage of class recordings from the school I worked at that closed in 2016. We start in the middle of a conversation about Google Books and Authors Guild versus Google from an article called Education Supplement, All Your Basement or Belong to Us from the Village Voice, and end with a conversation about former Panama dictator Manuel Noriega's lawsuit against Activision for putting his likeness in Call of Duty. In 2017, I'd like to do more interviews. I may interview a past student or a teacher or someone who is knowledgeable about modular synthesizers. If you fall into any of these categories, write me at UnCommonCore Podcast at yahoo.com. That's all one word. UnCommonCore Podcast at yahoo.com. That's UnCommonCore Podcast at yahoo.com. Or call 415-287-4555. It's been a tough year, Maybe the next one will be better. Enjoy the episode. Sorry about the sound. Like before, it is an iPhone. I'm Tom Howell, and this here is Q the Pug. He just farted. Happy New Year, everybody. Some of the writers either quit or they fired him or something. I don't know. All right, couple of things. When I went to the library a while back, you do research or you look to see what's there, right? And your exposure to the world is limited to whatever was in that library. Your research was limited in that library. But nowadays, the libraries really compete with the internet. Really, people could go on the internet for all kinds of things, but should they have to go down to the library to see what else is available? It's like, are there going to be some books that you just have to go and see in person and in that particular library? Seems goofy. A while back, I was doing when I was in college, I was doing a PowerPoint project. And, I said, wow, it's really great because you can, back then the internet wasn't it was the early days, right? It was like around the 90s. And the thing I did was I showed that you can do presentations and link files, and you can even order information from other libraries through the internet by typing a request online and having them send it to you. And I showed how I got this obscure information through the internet by, requesting it from other libraries in the world via the internet. But what they're saying now is a quantum leap from that. You should be able to get the actual articles online on your computer. Yeah. You know what I mean? So in the past, you could get it. You still, as long as going back from when they first started putting things online, you could query a library and go through some paperwork and have them send the material to that library if they agree. The actual book or videotape or whatever it was back then. So I think that already existed. So the only thing this is doing is linking that digital material so it pops up, really. I understand that authors want to be able to make money on their books.
Because till one point of view is like all the hardship is kind of they make a book, write a book, time is gone and everything. So they want to get the credit, like if we physically buy a book that is more expensive, more profitable to them than like getting from, and we can copy it anytime.
They could just, why go out to the store and buy it when you could download it, right? Yeah. Or even an ebook or whatever, audiobook. I can't talk for all of them, but a large number of them kind of they could go and they could download a song, for example, but they'd rather pay $1 or $2 for the song. That's why iTunes was successful. Some people wanted it for free. That's a theory in the Silicon Valley, that everything should be free and information should be free. And it's a popular theory amongst people who are techno people, tech guys. But your average person, I think, is, they know that people work for things and that they don't mind paying for stuff. They don't mind paying $1 or $2 for a song, or, as long as it's a reasonable price, people don't mind paying for something because they work and they want to be able to have that work be meaningful, and being able to get something you want and that has value to you makes that work meaningful in a way. So they don't mind that, you know what I mean? They don't have to have things for free. So the question is that it may be that even though you can get it free from the library, buying it and owning it, even though it's just a digital file and it may be the same, there's something to that. You know what I mean? Like, no, I bought this. Not a bragging right, but something you feel better about, Instead of just grabbing everything for free. You know what I mean? So because I think people they do pay for music and they do pay for books sometimes, even though they can get it free. Sometimes they don't always, at least in this country, they don't always go for the free option. So I don't know if that would make people change, because young people today are more like a lot of people in your parts of the world and in Asia and stuff. They do tend to prefer the free stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure if it will still be able to survive. Do you think you should be able to go to a library and get anything you want?
Like now, because like it's a tech world, I mean, like we have to save time, we have to because time is money. So that point of view, not like physically going to the library, because library may be very far. Then so if you can get on the desk in your room, why to just go and. It's not a waste of time, but unless and until you want to get an physical experience, going and communicating with other people, staying in the library, and spare time you can go, but now not every time. You have to see. It's what about weather is very bad. You just want to read that book.
Yeah.
You can't just wait for the weather to get okay.
All right.
But I would prefer that getting access to all the books through the internet would be better.
In the past, people in the little towns were like, "Oh, our library sucks." There's nothing there. And some places that even have good towns have libraries that suck. This would kind of level the playing field on libraries, I think. You would have the great Google Online Library. When it goes to this stuff, I think whenever technology creates a dilemma or a problem, I think a lot of times better technology can solve that problem. But I basically trust Google. Some of the companies I think are pretty trustworthy that are, thankfully, that are leading the technology, and some of them aren't. I think Google's basically a good company. I don't think they're just going to go out there and get all the books and then say, nobody could have them unless they pay me extra money or something, And plus they can't burn them. They can't have book burnings anymore. I miss that. If they do this digitally, I don't know how I don't think they're going to be able to do the CDs or the videos or stuff like that. I just think that'll be off limits. But the books, I could see them doing that. But yeah, the library has the CDs, the physical CDs. But I don't know, CDs are almost obsolete, It's funny because, every time they invented, oh, but by the way, one of the Everly Brothers died today. Don't let me forget this. And I'll show you a video. I know that's not related, but what I was thinking is that, when they went from 8-track tape, back a long time ago, I guess, I think it was Magellan or one of those guys, but back, they had this 8-track tape, and you used to be thick, and you stuck it in your car, and it would play the tape, and it would do tracks, and if your song was too long, it would cut to tracks in the middle of the song. It was so bad, But it was a big, thick thing, and it was bigger than this. It was huge remote. Anyway, when they went from 8-track tape to CD, did they go from 8-track tape to CD? I think they went from 8-track tape to record. What did they go after 8-track tapes?
With the tape to this much big, I think.
Well, they went from 8-track tape, then they went to cassette tape, I think.
Cassette, yeah.
And then they went from cassette tape
CD.
to CD, but LPs were in between. And when they went to CDs, the LP. But anyway, every time they changed, when they changed from 8-track to tape to CD, whenever they changed formats, some bands didn't make the cut. There's some bands that would make it from 8-track to tape. Good, they're lucky. Now they made it from tape to CD, and they think they're safe now. But now some of them are not making it from CD to the digital iTunes, even though they're doing a pretty good job. It's funny, but there's some bands just fall off the wagon, fall off and then they just get forgotten about. And fortunately now they're bringing a lot of these old ones back, but there's certain CDs you can get that are discontinued. And anyway, Everly Brothers. That's what made me think of the Everly Brothers. One of the Everly Brothers died this week. You guys know who the Everly Brothers are? I don't know which brother. I think it was the young, but I'm not sure. Let me check and see. Everly What's the news? Yeah, here it is. Everly Brothers song sales up 696. That's weird. 696. Be a good name for a band. 696% following death of Phil Everly. You guys don't know who the Everly Brothers is, no doubt. This is a good one. Let me turn it up here a little bit. Wait a minute. This is the old, retired Everly Brothers. You could tell by the way they're playing either. Let's get the original version here.
What is your name?
Don Everly, age 20.
Only a 20-year-old would say his name in the first place.
This is better. This is before they hated each other.
How about you? What's your name?
Phil Everly, I'm 18 years old.
Will both of you please smile? 18, 20. I think Pat Boone is old enough to be their grandfather. They have a wonderful record, Bye Bye Love. Sing.
There goes my baby with someone new. She sure looks happy out here and blue. She was my baby, she stepped in. Goodbye to romance that might have been. Bye-bye love, bye-bye sweet caress. Hello, I feel like I could die. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye. Bye-bye, my love, goodbye.
Yeah, they don't actually look like they're 18 and 20. They look like they're 37 and 40. I mean, the way their haircuts and everything are. They were like that back then. Died. Lou. I don't know which one is Lou. I don't know which one is Lou. Yeah, no, Lou is the 18-year-old one. Right. He's the younger one. The younger one died. Whichever one was younger. So I think it's this one here on the right. The younger one. Whichever one was younger was the other guy. Well, we're looking at the other one. Anyway, well, they don't look anything like this now. I mean, you saw what they looked like before. So, yeah, but that's in the 50s. Yeah, they're 70-something. Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, it's good music, but, people forget about it. Yeah, it's okay. iTunes, that's the next big thing, iTunes. iTunes has brought back
an appreciation for music that a lot of people have forgotten. So I'm thinking that, now these guys, as they die, they get the media attention, and their music does make a little bit of a comeback. Somebody picks them up in a movie or something like that, and I think it's good. A lot of these good bands that people don't even care about 10 years ago, that are 30-year-old bands, people care about now. It's not uncool to listen to old music. It used to be uncool for any band that was over 10 years, had been around for over 10 years. You know what I mean? Now it's not. Now it's cool to listen to just good music. That's one thing that's good about the new generation of people, But these guys suck. No, but so anyway. What do you guys think? You like those guys?
We got to hear after one of them died.
Yeah.
So
They always sound better when they're gone. I mean, look at Michael Jackson. He was so great, but when he's alive, it's like, it's disgusting. Guys, there's something weird about it. Look at his hair. Look at his nose. Anyway, that guy died. All right, it's not in the paper. I heard it on a podcast. The art critiques are often written kind of weirdly. It's just, trying to describe what's going on in orally, what's going on visually takes a little bit of a stretch of the imagination, so they tend to write in a strange way, difficult to understand sometimes. Okay, and then they got the film here. Let's see, Pucum High, what's that? They've got Return to Nukem High, Volume 1, and then they have Hamlet. What's this Hamlet stuff? That's not any good. Nah, read the Nukem High. And here we got some background noise from our neighbors. The next door are
oh my God, it's heaven. Okay, Return to
our
Nukem
workout
Volume 1.
neighbors. What the fuck is that called? The gym over there. All right, Return to Nukem High. Go ahead. You got a background noise.
The original cast of Nukem High mixed fears of nuclear power into a pungent growth of new wave, teenage rebellion, and gross-out effects. The latest sequel stares in anxiety over GMO foods, as the old power plant has been replaced with a shady food distributor called Storm Organic. One tainted taco Tuesday later, and a group of put-upon high school outcasts, an unfunny parody of Glee, has mutated into a terrorizing gang of cretins, just like in the old days. Meanwhile, Lauren, Catherine, Corcoran, the new girl at school, is beginning a secret relationship with classmate Christy, Asta Paradis, an anti-film organic blogger, while she looks what a
Labored puns.
With a vicious assault on a sex ed teacher and girl best friend. From clever ideas, the new setting organized setting the property to barbershop, number, don't negate the fire associated into a use of the
Cretin is a good word. Cretin. What's a cretin?
Where's the picture showing?
Here, a stupid person. If you look it up here, see?
Cretin.
Yeah. But I don't know.
These days of political correctness, they can still say Cretan. I guess I don't know if the country of Crete still exists, but it came from Crete. Urban Dictionary says a person that is brainless, stupid, childlike, full of pointless information that makes no sense and appeals to other Cretans. All right. Let's see if we could find this movie. What's the name of the movie? Nukem High? We could do the one on the top, I guess.
Tromaville is threatened for the third time by 3 times the evil.
I can rule everything!
Let's do it! I killed the girl!
3 times the mutated monsters.
Somebody get me a Kleenex.
And 3 times the nuclear meltdowns. Only one man can stand up to this triple threat. A man with 3 times the guts. 3 times the strength.
Oh, ilmo me!
And 3 times the acting roles.
This is Mayor Smith speaking.
Excellent, Dick.
Adley, I love you.
Wrestling star turned action hero Brick Bronski is the good.
Because I'll never use my power to cause harm to anyone.
The bad.
I'll keep my mind on maiming and killing, sir.
And
the sub-humanoid.
Class of Nukem High, Part 3. 3 times the nuclear-powered action. 3 times the nuclear-powered passion. 3 times the nuclear-powered nuclear power. In the good.
Looks like you underestimated the good people of Tromaville.
The bad.
I thought the idea was to terrorize this town and not let anyone know who it is.
And
the sub-humanoid.
Class of Nukem High, Part 3. Starring Brick Bronski as Adlai the Good.
Now they make a lot of goofy movies here.
Except that way.
It doesn't look like a particularly
Co-starring Brick
good one.
Bronski as
12.
Dick the Bad.
I never felt this way before.
Featuring Brick Bronski as
the sub-humanoid.
With special guest appearance by Brick Bronski as the mayor of Tromaville.
This is a trauma movie. So dry those eyes and reach
on drug and racketeering charges, convicted in 1922.
1992.
92. And imprisoned until 2010, when he was extradited to France to serve a sentence there. He was then sent to Panama, where he remains in jail for crimes committed during his rule, including murder.
All right.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, that's why he's suing. He's suing the game company because of his image. Now, again, they say, and he did do a lot of these crimes. I mean, the people in Central America also felt the way, the ones I talked to. I mean, he had a compound, and in his backyard, he killed people and tortured people right in his backyard, next to the chicken coop and the painting little gazebo thing that he would do. Right there, he had the little concrete building with the water-stained floor, and he tortured people and killed people there. He's not the only person that does this, someone else pointed out. It's true. So he didn't come up with the idea. I don't think he did, at least. But, so yeah, he's a bad guy. Now he's suing for rights, basically. He wants a cut. I don't think he wants him to stop making the game. He just wants a cut of the profits, which is kind of tells you about him. I mean, I don't think he's saying stop this game. He's saying he wants a piece of it. I went to all the trouble to go and do all of this stuff and create this history. I need a piece of it. And he is a historical figure. He's not saying, I don't think he's saying, this is really offensive to me, stop it. I think he's saying, I want a piece of it. I think that's what he's saying. I may be wrong about that, but But let's just assume I'm right. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think he deserves a cut because anybody else would get a cut, even though he's in jail and he's a criminal? I mean, do you think people like this, like the parents of Osama bin Laden or Charles Manson, or anytime they make a video game or a dramatic piece, do you think, like a regular person, they should have rights to their own story and get a piece of the action or at least sign off on it? Huh?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, I think so.
Really? Okay, yeah, I get different people with different opinions on it. So what's your argument for giving him... He what?
He has still have his rights.
Okay, so he doesn't give up his rights
Even though...
That's his story.
Yeah, even though someone considering him as an outcast, but he's still human and have his own rights.
All right, well, that's the argument. What about the fact that he, killed people and he's a very bad guy?
Yeah, they still have the rights to refuse to even though.
You don't think he gives up his rights when he mass murders people?
It's a different story, baby.
All right, well, that's an opinion. That's his argument. And what do you? Who thinks he should not get anything? What?
I think they can make it after his death. Like Hitler's one, like that.
They can make the game after his death? Well, no, they have to make the game now. Just assume, they can't wait.
I mean, make it funny.
A movie they could wait till he dies. Okay, that's a point. But the game, this kind of...
They're making fun of him like that.
They're asking.
Okay, say a little bit louder. Say it again.
I think they are like making fun of him like that, so okay.
Oh, so you agree with them? You think he should get a cut of it?
No, not the part of it. I think the game shouldn't be made like that.
Oh, you think a game shouldn't be made like that?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, what do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I'm against those games. I don't think that they're supposed to do something like that. Encourage people to do more violence.
Well, the games do have similar themes, I'm told. That, not that I'd be embarrassed to play the games, I just don't know. But they changed the characters. Like they might have a Saddam Hussein character named Hussein Saddam or something, or Insane his Dam or something. Yeah, it's him. He's got a big mustache and a little, beret on his head or whatever he wears in his little military outfit. So it's him, but they say and a lot of times you'll watch a TV show, they'll say any depiction of real characters is purely coincidence, so they don't get sued, But in this game, they're clearly saying it's Noriega. All right, well, I'm not sure about this. I don't think they should give him the money. They should certainly fight it, I think. I think there should be some kind of a law up to that degree that you give up your right to collect royalties if you commit heinous crimes, if they make a book or a movie. Otherwise, you have an incentive to do that. I mean, Singapore, they hang the people and they whip the people, you know what I mean? And the streets are clean and the crime is low. And here, the punishment is going to be what? You're going to sit in jail and then you're going to have a video game made out of you if you're bad enough? I think what they may end up doing, they may grant him something and then make it not retroactive, because if it goes back in time, it's going to be a problem, because there's all these other games or artistic works that were created with real-life historical characters that still have family that are alive, and so that would open up a Pandora's box of problems. So the judge may rule that, yes, but just now into the future. And then the games will change the characters. They won't use the real characters anymore. But it'll be interesting, a little bit interesting to see what happens, what they do with it. They may also put some restrictions on the games as well. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but you two don't like the games themselves.
Children, I mean, they sometimes will make it children's mind.
Well, the problem is that the U.S. military uses those games also to recruit people. If you go into their Army recruiting centers, they have video games where people play war games. You know, they play Let's Invade Iraq games, you know, or whatever. I don't know what they're called, but.
When someone is sitting in front of computer doing the game, but they can they fight in real life like that?
Well, I don't think that, but you think they can?
No. Sometimes people are addicted to games, but I don't think that they can really fight like that. They can really do very damage.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's the big tough guys with that go into, you know, that throw 6-inch knives at pictures of, you know, celebrities. I don't think those are the people that watch the video games and become violent. I think the people who play the violent video games are kind of nerdy type of people. You know what I mean?
Sometimes they are the people who are doing serial kills like in here. Seeing several people in schools like that.
It could be that those young kids that are, you know, taking out a rifle or a handgun and going to their local high school and shooting people up, they could have been inspired by the games. That's very possible. Yeah, so you have a point there. That's right. So I don't know. I mean, in the past, the argument was fairly good that these people don't become violent. But now with all the school shootings, it's time to revisit that scenario. I know that when I was a kid in high school and I saw bad things on TV, I blamed my actions on television. I would get ideas, and I thought, you know, and they would give me creative ideas, you know, and then I'd go out and do make trouble. But I would be inspired by what I saw on television. You know what I mean? So I think to some degree it does affect kids, TV and the media. Yeah. You know what I mean? Make fake bombs and threaten neighbors you didn't like.
People's climbing much, right?
No, what?
Sunday.
What?
In the campus, right? You went to there, right?
Where?
Sunday.
Where?
The people's climbing march in the campus.
The wall? Climbing? Oh, the climate march.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you said climbing a wall. I'm thinking, what are you talking about, the wall climbers? I probably should climb some walls, but no, You cut your hair? Oh yeah, I did cut my hair. That was like that was from last time I saw you, yeah.
Well, that's why you seem to be.
I don't seem so weak?
Yeah, because you cut your hair.
I don't seem so weak? What do you mean? Well, I'm usually weak and frail. No, I just got it cut because I was doing things that, you know, and I didn't have a chance to look in the mirror, and sometimes it was weird. So I mentioned last time I was going to get it cut. I wanted to try this place. I don't have any particular reason. I wanted to try this place. I hadn't tried in a long time. They're not that good, so it doesn't matter. I'm just you guys and a couple things. I'm not doing anything special, but I want to try them out, you know, and then see, because they're kind of cheap and they're okay. They're not that good. I have to go to someone good. Obviously, it's okay, but it's not that good. Anyway, but that's not it. I went to Coney Island over the weekend, but on Saturday I stayed out late. I got home very early in the morning, and I slept for 2 or 3 hours. And I thought this was the last weekend we have of sun, you know, like summer. So I want to go to, the last 3 years, I've wanted to go to Coney Island, and I put it off, and the summer ends so quickly, it was too late. So I said, this year, I want to do it, because there was a dramatic changes. Actually, it's been more than 3 years, like 5 or 6 years, last time I went to Coney Island, and it was completely different 5 or 6 years ago. This is the old Coney Island. It seems like it's 50 years ago, because there was like Shoot the Freak and all this other weird stuff that was falling apart, and it was so fun because it was bad, but it's gone through several changes since then. Anyway, I went down there, and it's kind of nice. It's kind of like the old, goofy, tacky place at the beach, and a lot of things are new, and they're in good condition. It's kind of crowded. People aren't walking around in their underwear like they were a few years back, you know what I mean? And their boxer shorts and stuff. Well, I mean, everybody except me, but, no, I mean, okay, so I went, it's nice. But I got a thing. I thought the beer, I got a little beer. I thought the small would be little. And so I ordered the larger size, but it was huge. It was like as big as you could grab it without the cup collapsing. You know, it was as much as those little... No, I went to the one that sells Sam Adams because I didn't, you know, I wanted to go to a good beer place, and they had a bunch of different beers, and I decided to get the Sam Adams on tap, even though
So it's big.
It's not that big, but for me in the morning, it didn't give me a buzz, but it probably affected me because I was already wasted. But the point is, I went to the Thunderbolt, and I thought, I'll just pay $10. It's only $10. And I wasn't thinking too straight because I was really tired. And I went to the aquarium. The aquarium was not so bad. I expected it to be really bad, but it was a few nice fish tanks and a couple of seals. It was small. It was like a rich guy's aquarium, like in his house. Yeah, it was like if a rich guy had a fish tanks, it would be like that.
Exactly, yeah.
So, but it wasn't so bad because I expected it worse. So I was prepared. So I was happy with that. But I went to the Thunderbolt. I paid. How many people have been to the Thunderbolt? The thing about it is, I realized after I took my stuff off and kept taking things off and taking things out of my pocket and realizing that, you know, I got to put this out or this might fall off or this might fall off. So I had no shoes on. I had no coat jacket on. I'm just sitting there. I'm really tired. And then I'm sitting just, and then the thing went like this. And I realized it might not have been a good idea because you're looking straight up at the sky. And other roller coasters aren't so dramatic. You're at an angle and you can see the track in front of you. This one, you just see the sky and just sitting there. And I'm like, this is not such a great idea. And the thing about it is most roller coasters give you a break. They go, whoo, and then you stop and you go up, and then you go down again. You know, right? You go up and you get a breath. And I usually am pretty cool with the things. I just sit there and I act like nothing's happening. But with this one, I had to pretend I was dying or falling out of a burning airplane or something to feel better about it because you don't see the track and you go fast up. So instead of going like that, it goes, the speed you're going up is as fast as the speed you're going down with these new ones. So going up at a high speed is kind of rough, especially when you turn back around and you go down and you can't see the track. You just see sky and you see this stuff. So you don't get a break. So it was a little rough, but it was okay. It ended just at the right amount of time where I would begin to think, this is kind of a scary roller coaster. Then it ended. You know what I mean? Because usually they're not scary to me. But I was thinking, this one's a little scary. And then it ended right there. I was just thinking that this one, if it keeps going a little more, this is a little scary because I'm kind of tired of it. So it's just the right length. So I do recommend it. It's worth $10. I wouldn't recommend going with, grandma and the kids. I would go with a friend first, so you know what to expect. But do it now because it's only going to be open like another week or two. You know, it's only $10. So in other words, it's not like a cheesy roller coaster that's at Coney Island by the beach. It's like a real roller coaster like you might get at Six Flags or something. So it's worth going down there and checking it out if you like that kind of thing. All right? Okay, guys, I'll see you for Thursday.
You've been listening to the UnCommonCore Podcast with Thomas Howell. I'm Satoko Smith. Thank you for listening.